a little bit more about health directions, but you all know you have the benefit of several months free after surgery, anytime after surgery, and along with that 8 personal training sessions. But Tammy has always, I love Tammy because I know Tammy. We've gotten to know each other really well when I was over there a little bit.
She was.
But it is non-threatening. You know, it's not, Tammy doesn't do do one more, 102, 103.
And I always say we're not a bikini gym. It's not it's not how, we don't have a tanning bed, sorry. We don't have massage tables. We're there for like real wellness. And wellness is more than how we look in clothes. Wellness is, hey, are we in a good headspace? Some of the classes that I teach over there, like it's called stretch and de-stress, and we do some really gentle stretches and try to get in a good headspace. Like life is hard sometimes, and I work on getting our, we have these stress response, these very, very quick, and how do we get ourselves to our nervous system that is calmer? And we have the ability to do that. And one of the greatest things that we have on us at all point in time to calm our body down is our breath. So we're going to start with a little bit of breathing. I had a lady, she said to me, Tammy, I have been breathing all my life. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, that's good. But I mean, I see where it would be like eye roll, or you got the just breathe signs. But what is great about our breath is that we can take a big breath and we can have a very slow exhale, and it calms us down. And when people, you ever heard of people on airplanes where they're having a panic attack, right? And it's really short belly breathing, and they say, get them a paper bag. Well, the paper bag just makes them take deeper breaths to get enough air. We don't need a paper bag. We don't have to go through a panic attack to use more breath. Most of us use about 40% of our lung capacity, and there is 60% that is not used. So when we learn to breathe into different parts in our body, and I'll talk about it, we can perform better. We can deal with pollen better. Anybody struggle with allergies this season? We can calm our body easily, and we can feel better. So mostly I got into this because I wanted to feel better. Anybody else want to feel better? Yes. Anybody ever had low back pain? Yeah, back pain. Oh, I got a lot. You smiled. That was a big, bright smile for yes, back pain. Yes. Some of the things that I learned is I thought I had bad back. I thought I had bad knees. And what I found out is I had tight hips. So we're just going to explore our body. There is no competition. If I suggest something to you and it doesn't feel good to you, just say no thanks or just don't do it. And if you want to participate, give it a try. Okay? We up for this? Yes. All right. So let's just scoot forward just a bit in our chair and begin to circle around on the hips. So just a little bit of, and I know we've got some arms on our chair. That's okay. We just want to move our body. Now, not too crazy, right? Mm-hmm. No, okay. I got an eyebrow on that one. I don't know. What are we doing next? Are we going to become belly dancers? Maybe by the end of class, but probably not. And then rock forward and backwards. So this is very gentle on our hips, just getting really some calm movements. But if we get this movement, we get blood flowing, and we start to feel better. So my goal is, if we feel better, we're going to be able to move more. If I make you do something that makes you hurt, you're going to move less, right? Okay. All right, come 2 feet on the floor, get very, very comfortable. We're going to take our hand on our belly, close the eyes, take a big breath in, feel the belly extend, and then feel the navel press into the spine with your exhale. This is called belly breathing. And we're going to take our hand under our rib cage, and we're going to inhale belly and then ribs. So inhale belly, Expand the ribs. Exhale, ribs. And then belly. We're going to take our hands to our collarbone. Inhale, belly, ribs, and then spread the collarbone. Open your eyes and see how you feel. You feel a little bit calmer? Yeah, it's really simple things, but why do I like to do breath? Because if we can calm our body and we have our breath on us all the time, we just want to know how to use it. A little deeper breath, a little slower exhale. If we are driving somewhere and we get in traffic and we get frustrated, screaming or making gestures at the people beside us is not as productive as calming our body down, right? So we have that availability for us all the time. All right, let's scoot forward a little bit in our chair. We're going to circle around on the hips again. See if we have a little more room. Did anybody feel a little calmer after just those couple of breaths? I want you to start to kind of tune into your body. Sometimes I do this and I realize, hey, I've got a little ache here, a little pain here, one side's different than the other. I just want you to notice those things. Change directions. They are not good, they are not bad. This is not a time of judgment. This is just a time of exploration. What feels good? What might I want to do when I get in the car frustrated? What do we do today that made me feel better? Rock forwards and backwards. And here's going to be my favorite part. And we'll do a lot of these. I want you to take your arms behind you. So either on the outside of the chair or we can go inside of the chair. And you feel a stretch across here. And we're going to raise our chin and begin to breathe into the chest. Roll the shoulders. How did that feel? Did anybody think that felt good? Do you know why? We spend our whole life, we are forward, right? We are. We're driving. We're on our phones. We're reading a book. We're cooking. We're watching TV. We're on the computer. We're all forward. If you get nothing else from this time, then, hey, Tammy said I need to open up my chest more often. If I was getting all fancy, I'd be like, open your heart. Right? But we can just be like opening our chest. It feels good. And it feels good because we don't want to spend our life forward. We want to open up. So take a big breath in, one arm up. All right, we're going to leave it up in the air. Bring the other hand down, grab onto something. I don't know. We got some part of the chair. Now I want you to take a breath and extend that arm up. Can you feel some stretch on the side of your body? Mm-hmm. And then we're just going to take that hand down and we're going to take our ear towards our shoulder. So if we're holding onto the chair, we have a little bit of resistance. Anybody feel this stretch in their neck? Mm-hmm. Do you know we hold a lot of tension in our neck? You ever had somebody come up and massage your shoulders? Mm-hmm. Not often enough, right? And they're like, oh my gosh, you're so tense. We hold it there. Continue to hold onto the chair, take the chin up, look over. And then maybe we lower that chin down a little bit. Do we feel that stretch as well? Good, bad, terrible, wonderful.
Good. All the crunches.
Yeah. Sometimes we're crunchy. Yeah, roll the shoulders. If we make noise, that is okay. If we have pain, that is not okay. All right? So we're not going for pain. We're going for cooperating with our body to feel better, right? Okay, take your arms up in the air. We're going to come down. We're going to take the other arm this time. So find something to hold on to. These are awkward chairs. Reach up with the head. I mean, your chairs are lovely, Jenny. They're lovely. Reach up into the air. And then we're going to take that hand down, holding on to whatever we want to hold on to. Take the ear towards the shoulder. And why do I say that? Because so often we'll raise our shoulders up, and that is not the kind of stretch that we want for our neck. We want to lengthen it out. All of these stretches are to make space in our body. Gravity like crunches us down. We want to make space so we feel better. Take that chin up, look over the shoulder, and maybe we lower the head or maybe we don't. And then bring the head up, come around, roll the shoulders. I am not saying that we have big heads. I'm just saying we have little necks and we have to be careful, right? So these things that we do, we don't want to always lower that head. We want to think about lengthening up so that we don't hold that pressure in our neck. So one more time, big breath in, come take the arms behind, so whether that is around it. And this time I want you to grab on and I want you to lean forward and see if it feels better. Every once in a while, and this time I hear somebody go, oh. I want to do that too because it feels good. So if you take nothing else but, hey, I'm going to do some more of this in my life, I will call this time together 100% success. All right. Ooh, she's already in. She's like, girl, yes, yes. And we start doing these really simple things and our body starts to open up and feel good. So let's take one leg out straight. Now, it releases stress by creating tension in a muscle and then releasing that muscle. And how do I know this is true? Anybody ever seen a 2-year-old have a temper tantrum? Do you think the parents taught them how to do that? No, it is an innate stress response in us. So let's see what we can do. I want you to take your hand on your bent leg, pull the other toe up as much as you want. Big breath in. We go on that bent leg. We don't want to press on a straight leg. And we come forward until we feel what?
Stretch.
Was that good? Was that a good? Oh, yes. It is. It's good. It feels good to create tension in our muscles. This is not too crazy. Now, what we don't want to do is push on a knee that is extended because it only goes one way. So we don't ever want to do that. Let's rise back up. Let's go ahead and switch the other one. Now, mine are going to feel different. So if yours feel different, see, just observe, right? It's not good, not bad, just observation. Take the hand to the knee, big breath in, come forward. I love that y'all are not dropping your head because, not that we have big heads, we got little necks, right? We just want to protect them.
Hold the head up.
Well, I want you to think about making a long line from the top of your head to your tailbone, and that's going to feel the best. This leg feels different for me because I have a little inflammation in my knee. So if one side feels different than to you, then I just want you to observe it. Rise back up. And we're going to take our legs a little bit wider again, circle around on the hips. Now, do we feel different with the legs wider? And nobody's wearing a dress tonight, so that's good. It's happened before, it happened. And then we change directions. So it gets a little different place. Besides some inner thigh, does anybody feel a different place in their hip or in their back? It's not going to feel 100% the same to all of us because we are all anatomically different. And we're going to come forward and backwards. I love it. We're going to do that later. Some people were just born to be belly dancers. Can't help it. Can't help it. All right, with these legs wide, take a big breath in. We're going to come one more time. If you can, reach the hands on the inside this time because we're far enough away. They might be able to reach. And then raise up. And if you have to let out a groan, that's okay. The more we open up, do we find the more we can open up? And the better it feels. All right, rise back up, roll the shoulders. We have our legs wide. We're going to have a long line from the top of our head to a tailbone. Take a big breath in. We're coming forward. I want you to take the hands to the elbows. Now, we're not going to hit anybody, are we? If we need to move and rearrange, we can. So instead of dropping that head down, I want you to roll the shoulders down and back. Big breath in, grow really tall. What happens when we grow tall? Do we feel it other places in our body? As soon as I stretched my body out, I felt more inner thigh. Me.
Could you, when you say down and back with your shoulders, where are you talking?
So what I mean is we're going here and we're going down and back. So instead of this with our shoulders, we want to just kind of roll down. Are we okay if I move this? No one's using it, right?
Sure.
And then maybe you can see me a little better. Okay. All right, y'all are like, how long are you going to make us stay here? I know, I forgot y'all were already there. So, all right, big breath in. And then we're going to come down, take the hands down. Maybe we can find our ankles. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Go really, really tall in the body. I mean, if you really want to do a forward roll or a headstand, maybe we're getting closer there. But that was not my plan for today. But what we could do is a little shimmy, shimmy, or a little side to side. Do we feel some stretch in our rib cage when we do that? Yeah, low back, inner thighs, come back up, eyes up, circle around again. And then change directions. Does anybody feel their body getting a little bit looser? So why do I start with the hips? I do lots and lots with the hips because our hips are a ball and socket. So they go in all sorts of different ways. Our knees just here. So if my hips are tight, they have to give somewhere, and very often it is knees or it is low back. And so what I found is I thought I had a bad back, and when I found I had tight hips, I was able to work on my hips to get rid of back and knee pain. We want to feel better, right? All right, so let's take our legs out in front, and then we can cross at the ankle, or maybe if we can get it to the knee, we're just going to work on getting it to our hips. Now, I love seeing super flexible people. The people with the best birthing hips are usually guys, but they don't really need them. But and we can begin to bend our leg, and this is a get a stretch into our hip. Does it matter if we can't get it over the leg? No, but if we can, we're going to feel it a little differently in our hip. Now, if this is the easiest thing you've ever done, go ahead and take your foot and put it behind your head, and we'll watch you. No? I got one kid. I got one of those. Get one of those. They like to do that, right? So take a big breath in. Do we feel some stretch in our hip? Could we maybe be sitting at the computer or be watching TV and get some stretch in our hip?
Sure.
See? Easy. Life stuff. But good things for us to get rid of back pain, to get rid of knee pain. So take a big breath in. I want you to turn the body just a tad towards that knee. Now, all I did was a little turn in my body, and all of a sudden I feel deep in the hip. Is that what you feel? Now, if it makes you grit your teeth, you went too far, don't do that. So come back to center. Now, I want you to begin to circle your foot. It's interesting, when I circle my foot, how come I feel it like real deep here? You know why? It's all connected. So we think about our feet down here, we think about our hips midway, we think about our neck, but it is all connected, and one thing impacts the other. So if we can be really gentle on our body and get some stretches that will help us, then this would be good in our lives. All right? Can we cross that leg? If we can't cross our leg over, we can cross at the ankle. It's perfectly fine. But I want you to take the other hand across. So we're going to take it across. Take it up in the air. Big breath in. We are going into a twist. So come around. And if you want to, you can take the hand down on the outside of the leg if you want. And feel like the wringing out of a sponge. Take a big breath in, go really, really tall. Do you feel how your breath assists your twist? Thank you, everyone, for saying yes. So helpful. All right, come back to center, uncross the legs, circle around. I like to say take a breath. Why? Because we're going to be going into a twist, and the last thing we want to do is be all hunched and crunched over to go into our twist. If we grow tall and we make space between our vertebrae, we're going to have more room to twist and less likely for injury. Okay? Yeah. All right, and if you have questions about these things, feel free. You can ask me as well. Let's take our legs back out. We're going to stretch the other hip. Do not stretch the same hip twice, or you may walk out of here in a circle. And but we want it, you know, if we can get it up to our knee, we do. If not, we cross at our ankle. We begin to come here. Now, I don't know how well y'all were looking at my opening of my hip, but one side is way tighter and the other side is looser. Anybody else notice that?
Yes.
So we have imbalance in our body. And this is not like a terrible bad thing. We have imbalance because we are human, and sometimes the imbalance is what we do. We do. Guess why I'm imbalanced? When I cross my leg the same time, the same way every time. Y'all think, I've done 30 seconds on this side, I'm gonna do 30 seconds on that side. No, and so we have like our favorite sides, we have our things that we do, we create these imbalances in our body. Does that make us terrible people? No. Does that make us humans?
Yes.
So we're gonna let go of all these judgments and all these things like, and we're gonna be like, hey, I observed something, now I'm gonna do something about it. Right, take a big breath in. We're gonna come and we're gonna rotate a little bit towards that knee, and oh my goodness, it goes really deep, nowhere near my knee. And we're gonna come back to center, circle around, come on back, and remember, you could be watching TV, you could be on the computer. Don't do it when you're driving, but if you're a passenger, you could. Just take some time and get some stretching in your hip. Big breath in. We're going to come forward. Remember, don't lower that chin just a little bit. Anybody want to take it over their head now? I mean, I would, but this is my tight side, right? I really wouldn't. I really can't do that. Does it begin to feel good? I think it does, because creating stress, creating tension in the muscles, and then releasing it, our body starts to like feel better. All right, let's take that leg around. We can cross here, we can cross at the ankle, it's all good. Remember, we want to make a big breath so we have room to twist. So I'm taking my hand so I know I'm going what direction I'm going. Up in here, big breath, and we're going to come around into a twist. It feels good to bring out the spine. Think about like when you were wringing out a sponge, getting rid of the old stuff, making room for the new stuff. And then we're going to come back to center. Uncross the legs, big breath in. Guess what we're going to do one more time? Anybody feel like they want to? Like, yeah, now I need to add more of this. I'm going to open up my chest again. And then roll the shoulders. I think you find if you start doing more of this in your day, there are people that are like, oh, once an hour, or I open up before lunch and after lunch. Just start having these little reminders, and you will make a tremendous difference in your life. Now, when we are going to get movement in our back, so this is, I like to start loosening the hips and then getting movement in the back. I want you to kind of round the back, and then I want you to arch the back. So we're just getting a little bit of movement. Like, here's your word of the day: undulate. What did you say? Undulate. That's right, undulate. Okay, so we're going to circle around on our hips, just circle around on the hips, and can we add a little bit of that movement of our back? And now you totally are a belly dancer. Is that Jennifer? Is that how you belly dance? Yeah, this is what we're doing. It's just moving in our back and circling on our hips, change direction. I really, some people were born to dance. Some people are just regular people like me. But we can move our body in ways that make us feel better. So let's come one more time. Big breath in. Come reach back, high, forward, back, whatever. Lean forward if you want to. Raise the chin if that feels good. If it doesn't, we don't have to. A big breath into the chest. And then an exhale and roll the shoulders. So we've been talking about the hips. So it's the hips is ball and socket, and we've moved it in a lot of different ways. But we have these hip flexor muscles that connect the top of the body to the bottom of the body. Now, when they get tight, when we sit a lot, have you ever seen people start to walk leaning forward a bit? Mm-hmm. Yes. And the more you lean forward, then the more painful it is to walk. So we want to kind of stretch these muscles out and work on getting our posture as good as we can, not because our mother told us when we were young. I wish my mother would have told me more, but she really didn't. But you want to be tall, but it is really about you want to stretch this out so you feel the best that you can. When people get older and they start leaning forward, I've seen it in my dad. I work with him a lot on stretching this. So one of the things that we do is that opening of the chest. It helps them. And then we stretch out this area. So the hip flexors top, one of them connects to our thigh, and then one of them goes over the knees. So we can take it to deeper places. But how do we stretch that when we are in the chair? So we're going to just turn sideways. We're going to want you to take one leg behind you to the point where you can feel maybe a little stretch in the quad, or maybe a lengthening right here. Does it feel good, or does it feel terrible? Yeah, we just feel it. But if we start to do, like, it's not too crazy, like we're not going into a split, right? But if this is going to help with our pain, that would be a really good thing. Tuck the tailbone a little bit and grow taller. And all of a sudden, anybody feel like singing? Oh. No, it wasn't going to be good singing. It was like that stretch singing, right? All right, so we're going to come back up, circle around. But you felt it, right? And this sort of thing, we're stretching our legs out, but it's going to help us to stand tall. And then change direction. If we find ourselves sitting a lot more, the hips get tighter, the hip flexors get tighter, and our quads get tighter, and then we don't want pain, because if we can get rid of pain, we're going to be able to move better, right? Okay, let's come on the other side. We're just talking real life stuff here. All right, so think about, how can I stretch this out? How can I grow tall? And if you feel anything in the knee, we want to just kind of flex our foot, tuck the tailbone, grow tall. You guys look very regal, just in case you were wondering. And then we're going to come back up. We'll do that again standing, but not too crazy, right? Nothing too wild, no splits, no handstands. But we're going to take our legs a little bit wider again, and we're going to come and circle around on the hips. And if you want to add in that movement in the back, or a little, I know who are dancers, y'all. Y'all just came out. All the dancer in you just comes out. And then we're going to change directions. And then rock forward and backwards. Take a big breath in. Take our arms up. And we're going to come down and take them to the thighs. So take one, roll those shoulders away from our ears. Big breath. And then we're going to come down and we're going to take it to our ankles. And if you want, you can shift a little bit side to side. We have worked our way. Our body's a lot more open than it was when we first started. If you wanted to take your hands to the floor, you could. And if you wanted to walk the fingers out a little bit, you could. And if you're like, no, Tammy, I don't want to, you don't have to. And then we're going to come back up. Rise up. Guess what we're going to do? What have I done so much? We're gonna take that behind us one more time. And then we're gonna take our legs back in. So some of the things that we did seated, we're gonna do standing. I'm not gonna make you do anything too wild and crazy. But one of the things that we wanna do to build strength in our quads is to be able to get out of a chair, right? So we wanna be able to get out of a chair, and we can build strength in our quads by coming and leaning forward and maybe shifting our weights, or maybe we hover over the chair. So if we can't hover over the chair today, but we can practice, hey, it's a commercial on, maybe I can try, can I hover a little bit today? And then we sit back down. You see how we don't have to do walking lunges, we don't have to do big, strong, heavy weights, but we want to get functional movement because we want to be able to get out of chairs and we want to have strength in our legs, right? So one more time, we're going to hover over, and then we're all going to come to a standing position. Take those arms up. And then what we did when we grabbed the back of the chair, we can do the same thing by taking our arms behind us. So maybe we interlace fingers, or maybe we pretend we have a ball behind us, and we just want to open up. How does it feel differently when we're doing it standing? Fine? Yeah, not too crazy, still makes us feel good. All right, so we're going to turn, when we were in the chair and we were trying to stretch out our hip flexors, we can also do it standing. So we want to take one leg in front and one leg behind. Do we have to go super crazy far? No, we don't. But tuck that tailbone. And if you want a little more and you want to step that front foot forward a little bit, you can have a bend in that knee and tuck that tailbone. And how does it feel when we're doing it standing? Do we feel that back leg? Do we feel that hip? Nothing too crazy. All right, well, it's time we're going to switch. You can just switch legs if you're like, hey, Tammy, I'm going to turn around because I didn't see you on that side. That's fine too. We're going to tuck our tailbone, get that stretch. It's really important that we do what we can to have our body as upright as possible. Your shirt's fatty.
I figured it was fitting.
I went to a party and I went to a dance thing, and the girl that was teaching, she had a shirt on and it said serving hips and salsa. And she was a Zumba instructor and she was like serving hips and salsa. I thought that was pretty funny. Okay, so when we're making space in our body, we want to, we use our breath to grow as tall as possible, but the other thing we want to do is really stretch. We want to stretch it out. And one of the greatest things that I have found is in lengthening out my back. So I can come to any part of the chair, and we're going to get behind the chair, but just make sure you can see the first time, and you'll probably want to scoot that one forward so you don't hit anything behind you. But when we can lengthen our spine and make space, we want to. So what I'm doing is taking my tailbone back, making almost like a V with my body instead of doing a plank. Like I don't want to go and I don't want to fall flat on my face, right? So I want to step my feet in, and then I want to take my tailbone back. And it should feel pretty good. And while we're here, I want you to take a big breath into the back. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody think it feels good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we're going to let go with our hands. We're going to rise back up. We're going to take our hands behind us. Breathe into the chest. And then we're going to step forward with one of our feet. So we're going to have one in front and one behind. Toes are forward on both of those. And we're going to come forward until we feel a stretch on the back of that front leg. Do we feel that? Mm-hmm. If you do not feel it, take your back hip and scoot it just a little, shift forward. Or you can raise the toes on that front leg if you want something super and more intense. You feel it? Plant the foot, rise back up. We're gonna switch legs. I'm gonna step on my foot. And then we're gonna come forward. Anybody think it feels good? And maybe we raise the toes, maybe we shift that back hip forward. Creating tension in muscles to release stress in our body and to make our body feel better. Plant, come back up. And one more time, we're gonna make that V with our body by taking the tailbone back, except this time maybe we bend the knees and look under a shoulder, look under an elbow. Don't pull your chair over, but just get a little bit of movement. And we're gonna rise back up. Let's come back and take a seat. We're going to circle around on our hips one more time. How do we feel compared to how we started? Was any of it too crazy? Was any of it, oh my gosh, I need Tammy to come to my house and teach me all of this stuff? Oh. Well, I think they made a video, so change directions. Take it one more big breath in. And then we're going to come one more time and open up our chest. And then we're going to come and we're going to take a few moments to talk about getting in a good mind, getting in a good headspace, right? So one of the things that we would do at the end of a class is take a few moments to have some quiet, to have some, I like to call it giving your body a thank you for what it let you do. So often we have come to times where we have judged our body for being imperfect. Anybody ever done that? Mm-hmm. And when we're hard on our body, same as the no pain, no gain with the movement, when we're hard on ourselves, we don't get the max out of it that we could. When we are really, really judgy on ourselves, we would get more from kindness. And if we're going to be in a stretch, we're going to get more from cooperating with our body than pushing ourselves too far. And so what I'd like to do with you is to do 2 visualizations. And we're going to just come and get comfy in our chairs, put the feet on the floor. I like to flip my hands up, but if they're just supported somewhere, it's perfectly fine. Take a big breath in. And just imagine that you are a burlap sack full of rice on the side of a hill. And it's kind of going down the hill, and it is just there. And all of a sudden, a hole comes in the bottom corner. And the rice starts to pour out. And as the rice begins to pour out, the sack just gets limper, closer to the earth, more supported. And it just flows. Not good, not bad. Just flows. Take a breath. A slow exhale. And see how you feel. And then I'm going to walk around and I'm going to hand each of you a Sharpie. And this Sharpie, you can go ahead and take the lid off, and I have an unlimited supply of helium balloons. So every thought that comes to your mind, I want you to write that thought on the balloon and then hold it. So if it is something you learned today, if it is something that has been weighing heavy on your mind, if it is just something that doesn't matter, something that does, whatever it is, take as many balloons as you need and write. I'm gonna go around one more time to see if anybody else needs a balloon. And then you can toss your Sharpie on the floor and take a look at what you've written. Maybe it's something good, maybe it's something you learned, maybe it is something that has been weighing heavy on you. And as we look at each of these balloons that we're holding in our hand, we're going to say, is this something that is helpful to me? Or is this a judgment? Or is this something that is way too much? And if we look at it and it's something that is not good, that is not helpful, we're going to release that balloon up into the air and we're going to watch it as it floats away. And all we have holding in our hands are the things that are helpful, are the things that are good, and the things that help us to live our best life. Take a big breath in. And a slow exhale. And see how you feel.
Relaxed.
And we're going to open our eyes. I feel relaxed too. This is the power of calming our body. This is the power of our breath, that just moving. We didn't do anything too crazy. There's some elements, the elements of stretching our body, it feels good because our body needs it. And in releasing that stretch, it releases stress in our body. In the deeper breaths, in the slow exhales to calm us down, and in the choosing what we hold on to. Because so often we have heard the judgments of people, or we've said them ourselves in our head. And it's time to let all that go. And what we want to put in is those things that help us do the best. The things that are gentle, the things that are kind, and the things that let the encouragement not only come from those around us, but from us on the inside. And that's what I want for you. And that's what I want for me too. So at Health Directions, we have a big thing on the floor, and it talks about the 7 dimensions of wellness. Because wellness is not just, how we look in a bikini. It has social aspects. It has emotional aspects. It has, yes, the physical is important, but the mental is just as important. And there is an availability for you to have 2 months free at Health Directions. 8 personal training sessions, one-on-one with somebody that is there for you. Somebody who is like, here's your particular struggle. I'm going to help you with that. Here's your injury. Listen, we're not competing with 20-year-olds that are injury-free, right? We're not competing with anybody. What we're doing is we're going to do what's best for you. Because if it's too hard, if it makes you injured, you're going to go backwards. You're not going to go forwards. And there are times in our life we take a few steps back, but then we regroup and we go forward. That's life. That's life. And we want you to live your best life. I want that for you. You want that for yourself, right? So it's an amazing program. I call it a gift. It is of no cost to you. It is, we have 56 classes a week. I teach these stretch and de-stress classes. Jennifer's newly hired up and she's Zumba. And so she's the high energy, and then she teaches some other classes too, yoga, what else?
Yeah,
Strength.
and then I'm doing the cycle training right now.
Oh, awesome. But it's real people. It's real people, and it's people that understand that we are not in this competing. We're in this to walk beside each other. So if you are interested in doing it, I know that the ladies here would have some forms. It takes a little bit to get in the program, so if you're thinking about it, it'd be better to go ahead and get your name on the list now than to wait 6 months from now and then, be ready to go and you have to wait longer on a spot. But it is a gift. It is a gift of the hospital, no cost to you, and kind of we want you to be successful. So, thank you for spending this time with me.
Thank you.
Did anybody have any questions?
I was on last month. They said that I had to get a referral. Who does the referral?
So Jenny and Catherine, they do the referrals. So that's just so somebody off the street doesn't be like, hey, give me a free program, right? It's somebody that has been a part of the Lexington community. It costs money, but I donate to the foundation. Like the foundation pays for this. I donate, Lexington employees, they do fundraisers that raise the money. We want you guys to be successful because that is the goal. Wellness. Which is not, I may never be skin on a stick, but can I be healthy? Can I live a good, fulfilling life? And that's what we want. We want to be there for each other. So, any other questions? Yes.
After the 2 months, then can you
You can join. You can join. It's about $45 a month, so about $10 a week. It is the cleanest facility you ever saw. It does not smell like metal and sweat. That is what I went in one to, and I was like, your gym smells like metal and sweat. And she said, that's the boys section. The girls is upstairs. Well, at Health Directions, all of it's for all of us, right? So women can lift weights if they want to. Women can do, life is more than limited to one thing. So that includes the classes. Hazel's been a member. Hazel, the classes are fun, aren't they?
They are fun.
They are.
And the instructors, they work with you. And I enjoyed it. I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to be out for a while, but I will be back.
What time are the classes?
So we've got them from 5 o'clock in the morning to 6:30 at night. So not so much in the middle of the day. You would think noon would be super crazy. We've got a boot camp or something at noon. But when the people come, that tends to be when how we have designed the schedule. We also have Saturday classes. We're not open on Sunday. So if you think you might be interested, you can come by. You might see me at the front desk. You can get a guest pass, try it out for a week. But if you think you might be interested, I would say, hey, fill out the info with Catherine and Jenny because it's pretty popular. It's good to be popular, right?
And the program has all of the classes available because after the program, you're saying that you can join. So the program is in particular classes.
Here is what the program is. 8 personal training sessions twice a week for a month. So basically, twice a week for a month, somebody teaches you how to be good to your body, how to do what you need so that you can be successful. The second month, there's a resource for you, but they're wanting you to step out onto your own. So you have the facility, you have the classes, you have us with you. And if you choose to join, great. If you choose not to join, great. Take the skills that you learned, take the things that you learned, live your best life.
But for the first month, you can only do the twice a week
No,
with the
you
trainer?
can do all of it.
Okay.
You can come to my class, y'all. Y'all can come to my class. But no, there's, you have full access.
Okay.
You're a regular member.
Where's it, where are you located?
We're about a mile up the road towards Lexington. We're about a mile up the road. So we're on the left side of the road. It says Health Directions.
Yeah.
Don't stop by asking for directions. That happens all the time. I don't know why people think we would rent a facility just to give out free directions. But if you're looking for directions for your health, we're about the whole person. Yeah, we're about the whole person. So yes?
I know you said they've made a recording of this tonight. Are we, is that the only way we can, like, there's no written instructions on things that you've taught us tonight, right?
So,
we have to
no,
watch it.
I didn't do, but what I can do is, Jenny, I can send you some chair yoga flyers or brochures or something that you guys can have here. So I'll send them inter-office mail to Jenny, and when you come in, ask for it. So I'll get a pack of this.
So it'll show it'll describe the things that we've done. and
It
what you
would be
do.
more a stick figure
yeah.
and you know, and some of the stretches
Yeah.
that we did.
Okay.
But if you, what I would say, if you don't remember everything, is one thing is, hey, we want to open our chest, right? Hey, we want to get movement in our body, and we want to take breaths and get movement. So we don't want to do crunchy movement. We want to do length. We don't want to do hanging. We want to do long and feel good, right? And if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Right?
And do we go to the website to get, like, to watch the recording, or how do we?
Girl, I didn't know about that recording. I don't even know how good it looks.
Our website, SC_obesity, and you'll be directed, you'll be able to see at the top where to go.
Where to go?
Yeah.
It will ask for your email to make sure you're actually a patient here before it lets you watch anything.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I didn't want to become famous on the web. I wanted to be all just special for y'all. Anyway, thank you for spending this time with me, and for everyone participating. That does my heart good. So thank you.
Thank you.
That's it, unless anybody has any major questions.
How do we get registered? Can we call tomorrow?
You can, it's available after your 8-week appointment. So, yeah, I just want to grab Tammy real quick. Can you explain?
Yeah, absolutely. If you have had a bariatric surgery already, which is probably a lot of people in the room, then you're eligible one time to do the personal training. So everybody should have signed in tonight. If you would like us to send a referral, I'll grab that for you right here.
But again, we like it to be after that 8 weeks so the doc can give their thumbs up.
Well, if it's a wait, should we sign?
Oh, you're fine.
It's
now?
usually
I
just
usually
about
remind
a
people
month
at the
or
end to
so.
Make sure you signed in
Okay.
anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I should probably sign now.
Is there,
But we won't process it until you have that appointment.
Okay.
Because if there was any hesitation from the doc or the nurse practitioner, you know.
Okay.
so, like, we have to have a referral before we fill out the paperwork?
Yeah.
So can we get the paperwork tonight, or we can
Well,
get that on
when
the
you
website?
If it's after 8 weeks, you can be referred anytime after that, as long as the doc says you're cleared. But you also can do it anytime after that. You can do it at 8 weeks. You can, maybe you have your own exercise routine. Maybe you want to do it at a year. You
But
feel like
I
I
was
need
gonna
more
ask,
training.
it's been several years since my surgery.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do that at the time.
Okay, well, that would be
I
good.
forgot.
Do you
I
have
can
an
still-
appointment coming up?
I have a virtual appointment.
Yes.
I do have a, yeah.
With
maybe
one of our docs?
Then I would
With
go
your
to
surgeon or
the
nurse
link here.
practitioner?
That's how they
her
verify
and,
you.
It would be one of the nurse
They should
practitioners.
ask for your name and
Her and, yeah, and, what's
So
her
Lori.
name? Lori, yeah.
Lori. So when you
verify
come
they'll
for that
send you the
appointment,
link to
we'll sign you
watch.
up. We'll get Lori's
We
okay.
try to do all our
So
support
just,
groups
I
on
can get
there.
her.
Yeah.
So just
But
wait
it's not
till
live.
then,
We
Yeah,
record it
so it should
tonight,
just be a
and then it
couple
goes
more
up.
weeks, right?
probably, I don't remember.
When you're coming back.
I'll look at it.
Okay.
Okay.